Every day, more than 17 veterans take their own lives. By building a gaming community that offers peer-to-peer counseling, GameCore is aiming for zero. Research shows that playing video games together offers social connection, stress relief, cognitive enhancement, and community building. On our Discord server, veterans, active duty service members, and supporters chat and game together. Some casual gaming sessions might only involve 2 or 3 people, while other events might include larger groups and be streamed on the GameCore Twitch channel. Most of the time, there is a GameCore member available to lend an ear to anyone who needs it. Join the Discord server. It's free. We are an inclusive community and we don't require anything of our members. If you want to be more involved, there are always opportunities to volunteer.
All right, happy Wednesday night to everyone tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster, John DeRudris. And, John, should be a very interesting race.
It should be. We are at a short track here, Bristol, Tennessee, one of the last great coliseums, they call it. So it's going to be a fun, exciting race, multi-groove, a little bit of a colder surface, so lap times are down in the 14.1s, 14.2s. So going to be a fast race. Excited to see how these Tech4Troops Cup Series drivers are going to make it around and who can conquer the last great coliseum here. A lot of playoff implications already on the line, but very curious to see who can potentially lock themselves in here at Bristol.
Well, why don't we go ahead and just bring up the current standings in the Tech4Troops Cup Series and see what's going on.
Absolutely. So right now, Marcus Adams still sitting on top. Kyle Smalley there, Mike Kelly, Jordan Weaver, Austin Call, Garrett Johnston, and Maxwell Caldwell are your 7 winners, and the rest pretty much separated by about 70 points from Walker Thomas down to William Curran there. So a lot of racing left to go here after Darlington, race number 9 we're at right now, and looking close to that line. That cutoff line is still very close. Between 14th there with Chuck and 20th John Ledger, only 10 to 11 points separating those drivers, Rick. So it's anybody's game at that cutoff line.
Yeah, I mean, we've got lots of races left to go, but it is definitely tight. You know, this is a series where we've got a lot of drivers tonight. We've got 39 entries so far here for Bristol, so a lot more racing to come, but each and every week these guys turn out.
They do, and it's great to see. Excited to see who's gonna conquer tonight's race and potentially see if we have any repeat winners. But right now, as you see the top of your screen, we have some of the lap times and some of the drivers that have laid some times here. We're going to cycle through some of those. And like I said before, it's quick tonight. So expect to see lap times in the 14s, low 14s, maybe even see a 13 if the track temperature continues to drop. Nathan Harper up there at the top of the board, David Brown, Austin Call, Justin Lewis, and Chuck Van Scoyk. A good practice for him, and he's one of those drivers at the cutoff line where he needs to have maybe not a win, but some consistent finishes to point his way into the playoffs.
Well, another thing going on here within the Tech4Troops Cup Series is they're doing a bracket. So just like in the college basketball series, we've got the same thing here. We've got an in-season tournament sponsored by Goat Racing Diecast, and here at Bristol we've got the Final Four.
Yeah, Aiden Lucas, 32 seed, Cinderella story with Kyle Smalley there, number 4 seed with. You have Maxwell Caldwell and Mike Kelly. So right now, it's not a favorites game by any means. Kyle Smalley is the highest seeded driver here, but after tonight, it's going to be down to the championship battle between those 4 drivers for the Goat Racing Diecast in-season tournament. Go check out Goat Racing Diecast for all your diecast needs. But Chuck's put out some great customs lately. Did one for me. I've seen some of the ones that he's put out for other drivers in the league and other, ones that he has sold to other individuals. Some of the best in the market. So go check out Chuck and see what he's got going on over there. But yeah, I mean, Aiden Lucas, Rick, looking strong.
All right, and so we got just a few minutes left here. Well, actually, a minute and a half. Let's cover quickly what the race info is for tonight.
Absolutely. 175 laps here at Bristol with 40 spots available. No quick repairs. Pit road speed at a very, very slow 35 miles an hour. 4 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 3 in the pit, 75% fuel, and 3 green-white checker restarts. So that is going to be potentially key here in tonight's race. The track temp at around 72 miles an hour, Rick. It's a little cold. It's a little cold out there
chilly
on the track, which means more grip. And so estimating about 129 to 130 laps on fuel. So they can make it almost to about 60%, 70% through the race. So I think it's more going to be about tires, about cautions, how they fall, and we'll see how the strategy plays out.
Does the humidity have any play? See, the humidity here at the track is 95%. Pretty sticky here in Bristol.
Yeah, definitely sticky. I mean, it's definitely sped up the track a little bit. You kind of have almost opposite conditions, very cool in the air, plus a very hot or very humid air, which sometimes will produce a lot of fog. Thank goodness we don't have any fog here tonight, thank goodness. But it does produce, like I said, faster times. And so right now, looking at 14.1s, 14.2s throughout the entire field, a very, very close field. I think the top 20 separated by almost or less than a tenth of a second. So qualifying, I think, is going to be very important as we see practice is wrapping up, Rick, and qualifying here at Bristol is going to be taking place pretty soon.
All right, qualifying is about to get started here at Bristol. Waiting for our first competitor to get on the track. Right there you do see the number 60 of Jared Wishen on track.
He was absolutely on a tear last week at Darlington. Was one of the biggest movers of the race. I'm very curious to see how he'll perform there in that Diecast Fans Ford Mustang in the number 60. See what he does here on his lap. He looks like he's going to take the high line around, which has been, from what we've seen in practice, some of the faster ways around this track. He just can't tag that wall, and he's riding around there. He may get a pretty decent lap here, Rick. You see Walker Thomas there, top of the board, and there's Jared wishing he tagged the wall, so he will not be completing that lap.
Yeah, great first lap. But that second lap is where the money is. That's the money lap.
And there's Alex Linney.
Finishing
currently
up.
sitting P15. Oh, and he slid on pit road. Oh, well, good thing he gets a brand new car for the race.
That's right.
There is Luke Bullard going a little bit more to the low line here, kind of mid-exit, going to slide up. Yeah, he tagged that wall. Trying to run a lap here. Michael Anthony.
Yeah, Michael Anthony.
I think, is this his debut? Have we seen Michael yet this season?
I don't. If we did, it's just been only one time.
Yeah, so Michael Anthony there out of Burlington, number 14 Chevrolet. Running some laps right now around the last great Coliseum, and that's what's great about the last great Coliseum. We've seen drivers on the low line, the high line, middle, and you can find speed everywhere.
That apparently was a top 10 for Michael Anthony.
And
all right,
looking at some other times, yeah.
Well, I think that's the great thing about this track is it can wrap up pretty quickly as far as qualifying goes. There's only a handful of drivers who have yet to qualify. A number of drivers have not qualified yet, about 6 or 7. Plenty of time left.
If I were them, if I were them, I mean, we're already 2 minutes or 3 minutes into qualifying, but I would set a qualifying lap here because you don't want to be in the back at Bristol.
Speaking of that, why don't we kind of get to your keys for tonight's race?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a little bit different conditions. We're in the dark here. We are in a night race, and so I think qualifying is going to be very important, especially if we see some cautions, and that's going to affect pit strategy towards the middle end of the race. But 2, track position. So qualifying track position are going to be absolutely essential here, just due to Bristol, due to getting caught up in traffic. You can lose a lot of time by running side by side or running a different line behind a couple slower cars. So track position is going to be key. But number 3 probably could be number 1, but survival. It happens at short tracks. It's Bristol. It's the last great Coliseum, like I said, for a reason. And we are going to see some beating and banging tonight for in this Food City 175. And so all 3 of those is going to be key. So I'm going to look and see who can maybe defy some of these keys and maybe make their way to the front. You know, I mentioned before a couple drivers, Jared Wishon there that brought himself all the way up through Darlington, all the way to the back, I believe. So curious to see how that's going to play out. But those are my 3 keys as we have about 40 seconds left, Rick, and I think almost everybody has run a lap except for about five drivers, or maybe 2 drivers went out on track but hit the wall, so that lap does not count.
Right. Yep. So we've got a few drivers who made an attempt, had some contact with the wall, maybe on both laps, so their qualifying is done. Others have just elected to say, you know what, I'll just start in the back and see how it goes.
Definitely a bold strategy.
Yeah, it sure is. So with just a couple seconds left, as soon as we get this underway, we're gonna buzz through the grid because it goes quickly here at Bristol.
It does. It definitely does. So we'll see who's going to be at the top here in just a second. All right, cars are making their way onto the grid for our 175-lap main event here, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network and the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Starting lineup on pole, David Brown with Justin Lewis to his outside, Nathan Harper starting in 3rd, Christoph Hall starting in 4th, Kyle Smalley starting in the 5th position, Austin Call starting 6th, Marcus Adams starting in 7th, Walker Thomas starting in P8, Andrew Pileshi starts in 9th, and Michael Anthony rounds out your top 10.
Jordan Weaver finds himself in 11th with Garrett Johnson to his outside in 12th. 13th is Scott Simley. 14th is Troy Torgerson. 15th is Maxwell Caldwell. 16th is John Crichton. Mike Kelly is in 17th with Wyatt Gray in 18th. Jared Wishon is in 19th, and Nathan Yarnell is in 20th.
Tracy Powers will start in the 21st position with Aiden Lucas there who's outside in 22nd. Aaron Jackson starting in 23rd with Brad Peters starting in 24th. William Corinne, they're starting in 25th. Chuck Van Scoik all the way back in 26th. Ty Bostic starting in 27th. John Ledger starting in 28th with Cody Sturgill and Justin Horton rounding out the top 30.
Alex Linney starts in 31st with Rodney Uberpacker to the outside. Todd Merkel in 33rd. Philip Vandertwick in 34th. Vanderwick in 34th. Zach Allen in 35th. And Luke Bullard is in 36th and 37th. You've got Marco Berube, David Watts in 38th, and Greg Stone all the way in back in 39th.
Well, Rick, we
did that.
Yeah, that's impressive. We got that done in just the nick of time. We have about 7 seconds left before these cars start to roll off on the grid. Looking right there, you can see the factory setups, 83 and the 4. Those teammates always seem to be within a couple cars of each other as we get this field rolling off of pit road here at Bristol.
It's like a marvelous night here in Bristol, Tennessee.
Yes, it is. One of my favorite tracks to go to. Oh my goodness, it's an amazing race. So we'll see how this field makes their way through traffic, through other cars, through the low lane, the high line transition. See if there's going to be any transition there, as we will get one to go on the pace car this time by.
David L. Brown is out there in front. He is the control car.
And at Bristol, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen, so we're going to try to bring you as much action as we can, because this track, it's short. There's
Right.
a lot of things can happen in 14 seconds. You know, I mean, just think about how long 14 seconds is. It's really not that long at all. So
nope. They're going to turn 4 laps a minute here.
Yeah, it's impressive. For 175 laps here at Bristol. Here we go. Pace car makes its way down. David Brown is the control car. We are green flag racing from Bristol, but that 7 got the jump, Rick. Are we that? He wasn't the control car. I wonder if we're going to see anything from race control. I mean, that was a pretty big start by the 7. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at it, but it looked like the 83 just was a little slow off the mark, and once that green flag flies, you can go.
It's fair game. Yeah, the 7 did a great job. Maybe there was a wheel spin by the 83, but here we go. Justin Lewis out front, and we see some cars side by side there for 3rd, 4th on back. That is the one of Walker Thomas on the outside, and that Balls Out Racing blue number 1 with the teal car in front of him. That is Christoph Hall on the outside, battling Austin Call on the inside. And Rick, just like that, 5 laps done.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the little map that's up there in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, we're still nose to tail, but this field is so large, it's taking up nearly half the track just as the whole field makes its way around.
And that's why, car spinning around. That's
47.
the one on the 47. We are going to be wrecking here. Car on the inside line, sliding back up the track. We have a big pile. Oh, no caution yet. No go.
It's got to be now. Yeah, we're wrecking.
Yep. Car upside down. We have our first upside down. Oh, he's flipping upside down.
The 18, Justin Horton. Yep.
Goodness gracious. Well, that started, Rick, in the middle of, I believe that would have been 1 and 2 with the 47 car of Austin Call. And the 1 car there of Walker Thomas.
Yeah, I thought it was going to straighten itself out for a second there, but nope. No, it just became unfortunately, a domino effect.
And, what this proves is that nowhere is safe. That happened up in the top 5. So my theory of track position and survival kind of goes out the window, because if there's any accidents, it can happen anywhere in this field. So yeah, it happened way before this. Because you already see the 55, you see the 1.
Following along behind the 47. There's the contact right there with the 1.
Yeah, and like you said in the pre-race, it's self-cleaning. 47 sideways. There's the 4, really nowhere to go. Some net code. And the 47 straightens it out.
Yeah, that's what I said. It sounded like it was okay, but then...
Oh, is this the 50? Is that the 55 that comes through on the top line?
Yeah, a
Makes
lot
some
of beating and
contact.
banging. Yeah, and the 55 winds up in the inside retaining wall. Major damage there.
And I think he comes back up the track, almost hits the 91, but the 60 is right there. He squeaks by, but 18, Justin Horton, nowhere to go.
Yeah, the 60 winds up T-boning the 13 of Tracy Powers and kind of upsets those guys. So, yeah, just a real mess. And unfortunately, there's the 18, unfortunately, on its lid. Just a lot of damage here. All right. So one of the things we've talked about before is that with this league, there are no quick repairs. So if you wreck your car, you got damage, you either got to have it fixed or you're out. So this could be a long day already for a number of drivers.
It really could. And the good thing about Bristol is you don't really need aerodynamics. The one thing that you do need is an engine and tires that are going in the pointed in the forward position. You can't have tires that are skewed out to the left or to the right, and that is from personal experience on a short track. Car doesn't like to go in the direction you want it to go into. So as long as you have those two things and you're not down on horsepower, it's fair game. I mean, you may have a little bit less downforce, but looks like we were going to get the green flag this time by, but we have looks like delayed the green. We also have a couple retirees early on. Brad Peters and Austin Call.
Yep.
Have both retired from tonight's event.
I think Greg Stone as well.
Yes.
All right, so the 7 has elected to take the outside lane and will be the control car on this restart. We'll get that flag next time by.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon for drivers to take that high line because it is faster at times. So being on the low line, you can get crouched down there, but the restart zone is right at the exit of the corner, right there. It's going to start entering the picture. And now we should be green flag back in the air here at Bristol.
Another great start by Justin Lewis.
He is on point tonight with those restarts.
To the 98 of Christoph Hall was a little loose. He got a little squirrely there, but got it back under control. He's got the 15 of Garrett Johnson.
And
we're
we
back
got a
under
caution, though, Rick. I believe that's in turn 1.
Maxwell Caldwell. See some damage to that race car.
So a check up in front of him, the 264, yeah.
64 of Sturgill, unfortunately taps in with that. 64 gets a little bump from the 13 of Tracy Powers.
Yeah, that's the danger.
Yep, no place to go.
Of nowhere to go. Oh, that's our second caution of the evening.
With just 15 laps in the books. Well, we're thinking the caution number could be a little spicy tonight. We'll see if that remains to be the case. Number of drivers are on pit road.
Last year we saw 15 cautions in this race, so
well, let's hope for the best and see if these guys can beat that number on the lower side.
Absolutely.
All right.
Got some cars on pit road. As we see the lights on the pace car go out this time, so we will be going back racing when we hit the line. And Rick, it looks like the 7 of Justin Lewis is going to take the outside again. Now, I mentioned track position is going to be key. John Ledger already up 19 positions up to 9th. Aiden Lucas up 15 positions to 7th. So obviously they started way in the back, and that was due to probably some of those wrecks. But hey, spots are spot. Here we go. Green flag racing back from Bristol. Another great start by the 7 as they go into turn 1. Like these cars are dancing around just a little bit, but again, we haven't had really a heat cycle getting these tires yet. About 5 to 10 laps, and you'll start to see the lap time stabilize and see these cars start to even out.
Christoph Hall doing a great job staying up there with Justin Lewis.
Doing a good job running a little bit different line than him, which is going to produce, as of right now, probably a little bit more advantageous. But on the long run, he may suffer a little bit just due to that car and the positioning of it. But running down the 7 of Justin Lewis on the high side.
Seems to have found a groove that works for him, but you're right, there's going to be a point at which, and even for Justin Lewis is really wrapping those corners along the yellow line. It's going to have some significant wear at some point.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how will it wear in the dark, and in the nighttime here at Bristol. Looking at that 98 is running a little bit there, but look at this Hornet's Nest started with David Brown right there. You see the 25 or 30, excuse me, the 39 of Corey Torgerson, the Navy Machine on the high side, the 15 of Garrett Johnston on the low line, John Ledger mixed up in there, 71 Wyatt Gray.
Yeah, some good battles as these cars and drivers continue to battle side by side for the top 10 here.
And we go 3. Nope, I thought we were going to go 3 wide.
We're 3 wide.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, and there it is.
And, we turned back down. Big wreck. Oh, man. A couple more cars got into it. Almost everybody avoided it. Oh, no. I don't know if the 12 got tagged
there's
there.
Pieces of sheet metal and fiberglass flying everywhere. Lots of damage with some of these cars.
Yeah, take a look back and see
to
what
the 55
happened.
from that earlier wreck, missing some sheet metal there. Trying to go back. Let's see what we can see here. Back to that yellow. Where do we? I thought the 15 was definitely involved.
Yes, it
Garrett
was definitely
Johnson.
the 15. Oh, so it was
William
the car
Caron.
on the high line, I believe. Yep. And then the 15 just shot back down.
Well, unfortunately, the 81 got a little bit of what he dished out, and unfortunately, damage all around there. I mean, it clearly was just a racing incident, but it happens, and unfortunately, he spun the 15, and then unfortunately, the way it worked out is he got caught up in it. So, but and then wound up blocking the track and getting a big bumper of the 2 into him as well. So that may be a significant amount of damage on the 81 there. 15 is getting it going, and here we go. So all right,
brings out our 3rd caution. Yep.
so with that, John, are we going to do maybe a little bit of trivia?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's think about this. Let's look at some questions here. Let's start with a fairly easy one. Which state is Bristol Motor Speedway located? A, North Carolina, B, Virginia, C, Tennessee, or D, Georgia? Which state is Bristol Motor Speedway located?
I hope that's an easy one for folks.
That should be a layup. I just gave somebody a layup there. So starting off easy, we're going to get progressively harder as the race goes on. Hopefully there won't be any more questions. That means we have a green flag race there, Rick. So
that's right. That's right.
But I'll answer this question at lap 40. So got about 3 minutes to get that question answered.
Yeah, either lap 40 or if another caution comes in, well, there's that.
We'll see. Green flag back here at Bristol. I almost said the state. As Justin Lewis showing us how it's done. As we see a lap car in front of them, that might cause a little bit of havoc. Oh boy, lap car on the bottom lane.
66.
He's in a low line. Oh, Rick, this might get hairy. Oh boy. Oh no.
The 19 tried to get around him. He made it, but 3 wide.
Yep, 3 wide. It's working so far. I don't know how long it's going to work.
That 66 is John Crichton. But looks like most drivers have survived and made it around.
They have. Good job, Field. Good job, John, getting through there.
But that doesn't change the fact that 2 drivers, Lewis and Hall, have jumped out in front. They're still, Troy Torgerson has moved his way up 11 spots to 3rd. And then right behind him, that hornet's nest is reforming to chase down these leaders.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of action going on. You see the 9 there, Mike Kelly. The 83 of Dave Brown. Mike Kelly locking himself in last week.
See the 19 of John Ledger up 21 spots up to 7.
Yeah, he's defying my my keys. He's proving my keys wrong. You don't need to have good track position. But he has been running that high line. So very curious to see if that's because, but we have a battle for the lead though, Rick. Christoph Hall to the outside of the 7 of Justin Lewis. And battle is on now for the lead. Christoph Hall has that run. I think he's going to be able to get by the 7 here, probably out of 2.
He stayed true to his line that he came in here. It's just doing a great job holding on. Those lap times are still, he's running in the 14.2s.
He is. And we reached lap 40. So the answer to the question is no, it's not North Carolina. No, it's not Virginia. It's good old Tennessee. Bristol, Tennessee is where Bristol Motor Speedway is located. Again, layup for everybody out there. You should know. Now, some people might get confused about Bristol, Virginia. Yes, technically Bristol is on the border between Virginia and Tennessee. So city-wise, technically both are correct. But for the track, it is in Tennessee. But looking at the lead right now, see, this is what I'm curious about. How long that 98 can stay in that high line. It's going to be fast. But that high line will chew up your tires a little bit more off of exit. So when will that 98 start to move down to the bottom? But it looks like 7 is pretty committed there.
Yeah, he's running his line. I'm concerned. I'm waiting to see, because just about one straightaway away, this pack of leaders is going to catch up to the tail end of the field and lap cars. And that is going to be a challenge for these leaders to weave their way through these lap down cars and then have those lap down cars or those end of the lead lap blend back in. That's going to be just wild.
It will be wild, and it's going to happen probably in the next 10 to 15 laps. So
yep.
I'm very curious to see how it's going to go.
All right, we thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We certainly appreciate that you come here and spend time with us each and every Wednesday night for these drivers, obviously giving you a bit of a preview as to what's happening in real life on Sunday here. Or is it Saturday night?
Is it Saturday night?
I don't know.
I think it's Saturday night. Let me double check the calendar here, because if that's the case, we have
whoa, they're so close. Car in the wall,
contact.
34.
Cup Series will
has
be
regained
racing.
his lead.
Yeah, the 98, I think, is kind of losing those tires a little bit. He had a bobble. Oh, the 18's there as well. The 18 is checking up the field. Rick, we might have a wreck here. We're wrecking on the front stretch. 18 turns the 39, I believe. One of the top 5 cars.
We're going
I
to have to
barely
go back
saw
and
the
take a
tail end of
look
that.
at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looked like the 39 and the 18 made contact here.
I think they've made contact multiple times, but
so the 18, Justin Horton, is currently,
he's right there in front, blue car. The 39
he was
comes
not
up.
a lap down yet.
Yeah.
Or he was just a lap down. He was just a lap down.
See, he winds up in the wall, but there is contact right there.
Yeah, they make contact. The 39 was coming up, the 18 was coming down, and the 39 spins off the left front of the 18 there. I kind of chalked that up to almost even a racing deal, really.
Yeah, I agree.
18 was trying to stay on the lead lap, I imagine, and trying to do what he could.
All right, so with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss anything. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to add to your diecast collection? Well, visit GoRacingDiecast.com. Explore one of the largest collections available with the options for pre-orders, new inventory, and the GOAT's personal collection for over 25 years. There's an option for every level of hobbyist. Ship direct. Personal custom diecasts are available. Shop the GOAT Racing merch store. And if you're a driver, apply for a sponsorship today. Turn your hobby into a passion and head on over and shop GoAtRacingDiecast.com.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We're under caution for a spin that involved the 18 and the 39. 18 was just on pits. Pretty much the entire field came, well, I take that back. Most of the entire field came down here at lap 52, but a number of drivers did not. Kyle Smalley, who is currently showing right now as the control car in the 51, in that blue Balls Out Racing 51, has not pitted yet, and neither has his teammate Jordan Weaver, who is to his inside.
So 54 laps in.
Is sorry to jump in, but spots 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are all Balls Out Racing drivers.
I get the strategy, but it might be kind of crazy at the start. That's all I can say. Green flag racing back here at Bristol. How long will these leaders be able to last out front of those green flag tires that a lot of these drivers have? That's the question.
See Christoph Hall there in the 98 is currently in 5th, but see if they can run down these drivers. Of course, there's a lot of fresh tires out there, and got to get some heat in those tires. They get mighty slippery on this track.
They will be. So I expect the front 4 to have this lead for a little bit, but those tires are just going to not be able to hang with some of those drivers. The first driver that has tires is Christoph Hall, I believe.
David Brown.
Or is it David? No, David Brown. Yeah, David Brown. So see, tires can last a little bit. Last time by, the leader was a 14.57. David Brown was a 14.47. Last time by, the leader was a 14.64. David Brown was a 14.56, but I think that's because he is caught behind that one car. Nowhere to go. The one tries to block up high, not going to do it. Some action there with the Zero up in the wall.
Zero's got something going on because he is just trailing lots of sparks off that car. Not sure what's happening. Oh, and the 7 just tagged the wall.
Oh no!
It just looked odd that he just completely jumped right. Super interesting.
Oh, Rick, you just missed the leader split, Justin Horton, and okay. 2 things we have to go look at. I cannot believe what I just saw on my other screen. Oh no, hard contact there.
54 just unfortunately did not see it. Oh, and now spinning. That's the leaders.
That's the leaders.
Kyle Smalley, Marco Berube, Christoph Hall, Tori Torgerson, David Watts, Marco Berube, all involved. See, the hood is not attached on that 39. It's just flapping around. There's a lot to look at here.
So, okay, there's a lot to look at. So Kyle Smalley, what we just saw the leader wreck, he did not see the 54 up in the high lane. He wasn't running full speed. The 54 was locked up in the high lane. He just didn't see him. And like, that's the 3 wide right there with the 18 that almost made contact with the leader. That was treacherous, to say the least. That's the one, number 1. 83 in the 51 split. And then once the caution came out, the 51, I just don't think saw the 54 in the corner.
Yeah, he's just motoring under speed here. And now the track is blocked.
I mean, I just don't think he saw him.
Well, I think he saw too late and then wound up pretty much right into the 98, tapped him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the 54 was locked up on the high line. I mean,
yeah, that's Marco Berube. 54 was fine. If I just go back.
Was it the 64 then? No. Who's in the high line there?
David Watts in the 54.
Was it David Watts? Okay.
So if you watch the 51 come around, let's go in his cockpit.
You still don't see him. You see him right there, kind of in the corner. I just don't think he saw him yet, Rick. Because look, he makes a hard left-hand turn. He gets loose.
So my opinion is that where he was on the track, because of the angle he was on the track, the 51, there was no way for him to control the car. As he turned down, he lost all control.
Yeah. Agreed. I think it was I don't think he could have enough time to really react.
If he didn't turn down so much, he would have been able to just make it right through. But I think he slightly turned down a little bit too much, and unfortunately wound up
right.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and we're green flag racing again. David Brown up in the lead.
Wow, a little bit of overanalyzing maybe, but sorry about that, folks.
Well, we gotta bring it because people are probably wondering what happened to the 51. Why did that happen? So. All right, David Brown back up front here, and it looks like the 98 of Christoph Hall in second, Wyatt Grant third, Mike Kelly in fourth, and Walker Thomas rounds out your top 5 as we have another caution. The 18 gets involved to another incident on the front stretch. Don't see who is involved. It's out of the corner of my screen. It was the 18, and I couldn't tell. The 18 and Marco Berube, the 99.
They were just involved in that previous incident. There's a lot involved. Let's go through this real quick. So that's the 99. Who spins out on his own.
Yeah, so spins, but still going forward.
Collects it.
And washes down. And then, oh no. Oh gosh, he came back up the track. Oh man. Melted by the 81. Again, right in front of the leaders. And that didn't got the 98 involved. Oh, we didn't even see that either. Is that the 4?
What a mess. All right, so our 6th caution of the night. Sorry, folks. We're going to go back up front with these leaders here. And so the 83 is up front. You got the 98, the 71 of Wyatt Gray. Mike Kelly is there.
And just want to give a quick rundown. The leaders that were involved in that incident: the 98 of Christoph Hall, the 11 of Scott Smiley, the 4 Nathan Harper, the 91 of Andrew Pileshi, 22 of Ty Bostic. And I think that should be it, Rick, on the leaders that were involved in that incident.
All right.
Alrighty, looks like we have David Brown and Christoph Hall still at the front of this field, as we are just a little bit short of halfway. Green flag is back in the air now. Green flag racing at the front. Great start by the 83, and look who's there sitting in second now, the 9 of Mike Kelly. What a run he's been on the last couple races.
Yeah, he's picked up 15 spots tonight, as has Wyatt Gray, who's currently battling right there.
Some other big movers: John Ledger up 22, Ty Bostic up 18, Philip Vanderhoek up 22 as well. Some of the biggest movers of the race.
Keeping it close, Mike Kelly, Wyatt Gray to David Brown, who's out in front. Just to remind everyone, David Brown did start on the pole tonight.
Yep, and that's where that qualifying is going to pay dividends. Pay dividends for that 83, as we see 34 machine right there. Aiden Lucas right behind the 19 of Ledger and the 11 of Scott Simile. Simile. Yes. I always say Smiley.
Yep. We've got a Simile, and then we have a Smalley. Yes.
Who would have thunk?
Number of drivers on pit road. Luke Bullard is coming down. Number of drivers who are still in the pits eliciting repairs here: Justin Horton, Marco Berube, that's the 18 and the 99 after that incident, as well as the 54 of David Watts. All right, David Brown continues to lead. Mike Kelly is a solid second. Wyatt Gray has taken over that 3rd place position. Christoph Hall is in 4th with Scott Simley in 5th. You've got Aiden Lucas right there making a run with John Ledger in 7th. Marcus Adams is in 8th. Walker Thomas in 9th. And 10th, Ty Bostic, 22, has cracked the top 10. Rapidly approaching the halfway point here at Bristol. I've had a number of incidents, not terrible. About 6 cautions have flown.
And let's see if we can go on. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying, let's see if we can go on board with the 83, the leader, see what he's seeing, or maybe the 9, either one. See how they're driving this track.
Leader has got a lapped car with some damage right in front of him. That's the 55.
Really nice, really smooth with the wheel.
No, he stayed in 5th gear. he's not throttling back and forth, not really just super smooth.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a rhythm right now. I've been watching his RPMs. He gets up to about 8,600, and it drops down to about 7,100. Back up to like 85, 86, and then back down to 71. Yeah, very, very smooth back here by the 83 of David Brown.
That's what you need to be successful. You've got to have that rhythm, that constant, and you can lull yourself into a little bit of complacency here, and all of a sudden,
you can.
without in just a blink of an eye, you're going to wind up like we saw the leader go through, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a car sideways in the track. It happens that fast.
It does, and so you can get in a lull in the wrong line, you can get a lull in the right line. So it's really about how you can navigate your race. And right now, David's doing a great job out there as the leader. As we have 4 cars in the top 6 that have gained 15 or more spots in this race. That's the second place driver of Mike Kelly, third place driver of Wyatt Gray, the fifth place driver of Aiden Lucas, and John Ledger in P6.
All right, and with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break as we just passed the halfway point here at Bristol. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech4Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007. Joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech4Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech4Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech4Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back for the Tech4Troops Cup Series broadcast here on the IWM Network. We really appreciate you tuning in tonight to our Food City 175 here at Bristol. If you could, feel free to tag that subscribe button and stay up to date on things that are happening here, all things IWM. And you'll be reminded of our Wednesday night broadcast. And we'll be back tomorrow night with the INRS Racing Series here at Bristol for their Food City 250. So that should be
a fun event.
Yeah, a lot of great racers in that league.
Yeah, should be a daytime race as well. So make sure to tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, I do like the feel of the night race here at Bristol. It's so well lit here in iRacing. You get a lot of the reflections off the cars. The paint schemes are wild. See the metal flake off that 71 Wyatt Gray car.
I agree. It's phenomenal. At night in person here on iRacing, it's a place like no other. It really is. It's one of a kind. Looking a little bit further on back, we have a battle with Ty Bostic and Philip Vanderwick there. We got a big group now forming here. About a 4 or 5 car battle.
Yeah, this field is completely spread out around this track. See the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik trying to get up under the 24.
That is for 10th position.
Don't rule out the 91 of Andrew Palesci right there. Oh, almost a little contact with the 23 there. The 12 of Aaron Jackson down there below. Oh, man. A little door-to-door action going on with the 24 and the 22.
Yeah, Ty just holding that high line. Trying to make it work.
Look a little farther back. It's a 13 of Tracy Powers up on the high side of the 42 of Alex Linney. Trying to get around the 15 of Garrett Johnson. This is further on back. You have Michael Anthony, the other 14. He's got the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell right there. Oh, that's the 4 of Nathan Harper. Pulls off, goes down pit road.
Yep. And we have a big gaggle of cars in front of the leader right here, Rick. This is going to get hairy. This is going to get hairy. The 7 there, the 60. This, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
we're watching, but it's going to slow them down because these are a slower pack of cars. A good bit of them were involved in some earlier incidents, so they're off the pace, certainly not the pace that the leader is showing.
No, and this is going to be the first time that some of these cars are going to be in traffic. So, like the 3 right there on pole, sitting on the lead. So his car handles in the dirty air there. The 71, now the 9 have brought up. Contact
51.
Being made.
Yeah, 51 dropped down, trying to avoid it, wound up putting itself right in the thick of it.
Oh, the 7
again.
Gets turned by the leader. He saves it though. Green flag still out. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was close. So now it's Mike Kelly's turn. See if Mike Kelly can get up through here and battle through this pack. I mean, it's a little bit more dissipated, but it's still side by side. Treacherous in front of these leaders. I'd be worried right now.
Yeah, he's in a blender surrounded by lots of cars who either would have been or could have been up front that are no longer there because of incidents, and now they're just solidly in the back.
And the 64 is behind these 2 leaders on fresher tires. So watch out for that. Now here comes the 83 back to this pack. Is he going to be able to have enough? But that, I mean, they're the roadblock. You can't go anywhere.
Nope.
If it were me, I'd just be holding steady, just not trying to pass, because you can't go anywhere.
Well, the problem is they're super loose. So the 9 gets so loose there, he washed up the track, almost took out the 11. 83 is trying to slip under. But I'd be concerned about what's happening right in front of them. The 71's there, the 51, those guys are like bumper to bumper. They're just tapping away.
Yeah, the 83's in the middle of the hornet's nest again. I'd be a little worried if I were him. We saw what happened the first time. And it's starting to dissipate just a little bit. Oh, the 83's going to try to go low. Hold on to it. Oh, boy.
Contact between the 98 and the 60. Oh, touches him in the rear, goes around.
Yeah,
the 60 sent the 98 around.
And we're 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2.
Still green.
Yeah, still green.
83
is
yeah,
just about clear.
Christoph Hall wound up in the pits. He ended up getting into the pits, but wow.
And it's I gotta say it sucks for the 51 because he was out there in the lead. Now he's getting lapped. Hate that for him.
Scott Simley in the 11 is right there as well. That he's sitting in 4th, trying to get around 71. That's Wyatt Gray. He's in their 4th position.
Yeah, 71 getting pretty close with 51 there. 71 drives up a little bit. The 51's not going to give it away. That 71's going to drift up the track.
51 is Kyle Smalley.
And 71 of Wyatt Gray able to get around 51 as we see some of these other leaders trying to get their way through. That's a 34 of Aiden Lucas, a 31 of Marcus Adams.
It's like the leaders have a little bit of breathing space between themselves and the next group of cars they're going to have to drive through, but it's not going to be more than a lap or two. They're going to have to do this all over again because that front is blocked 3 wide.
Yeah, the 9 was able to get a great run off of turns 2, passes the 83 on the high side. Great run by the 9. Wow. And we're 3 wide in front of him. Oh boy. There's a 98, like you mentioned, he was in the pits.
17 drops to the low side, lets the leader go by. The 94 is there. And 94 is Maxwell Caldwell. Max is the last car on the lead lap, so he's fighting to stay relevant.
Yeah, he's still there on the high side. I don't think he's going to have anything for the 9, though. Here comes the 83 now to the inside of the 94. But that 9, Mike Kelly, in the lead. 45 laps to go.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be going side by side. You won't miss anything. We'll be right back, and thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM Broadcast Network's showing of the Tech4Troops Cup Series Food City 175 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Rick Souza here with John Drudris as we've got the last 40 laps here of this event. Right now, Mike Kelly continues to lead. It's been a battle between the 9 and the 83 of David Brown as they work their way through traffic here at Bristol.
And the top 7 right now, or top 6, all pit on lap 52. So they should be good to go to the end. Now, will we make it? Is the question.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
I'm not saying that C word. I'm not saying that word. Oh, hold on to it.
But I think that based on the fact that they pitted last on lap 52, coming in for a little bit of fresh rubber would not be a bad thing either. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, if they can go about 130 on a tank, that would be 5 laps to the good. So I wouldn't risk it their only run. Oh, caution's out. Well, that changes everything. Caution out on the track. Don't know what for.
Look for John Crichton. He's back in the pits, but we're watching the 66, who gets a little bit of a bump from the 0.
Okay, everything good. Everything fine. Does he park it? He parks it and retires, which brought out the caution.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, leaders are on pit road.
As we expected, I think we were prognosticating about what would happen, and here we go. Everybody is coming down pit road for what would be the last caution of the night. Now, this is Bristol with double pit, so it takes a bit longer to get all the way around.
Yes, it does.
Now, a number of drivers have elected to stay Well, those may be lap down. We'll see how it all shakes out after the first round of pit stops.
So we got word that John Creighton potentially got a meatball in the middle of the corner, and the car wouldn't steer. So that's why he retired.
All right. Well, first round of our seventh caution, and pit stops are wrapping up here. This will be obviously with just 34 laps to go. I think the 7 and the 60 will get a wave around, as well as the 55.
So.
Yep.
And while we're under caution, I'm going to bring out another track fact. So how long is Bristol Motor Speedway? A, 1.5 miles. B, 0.533 miles. C, 0.75 miles. Or D, 2.5 miles. You may have seen this in the pre-race graphic. So if you're paying attention, you would actually know the answer to the question if you saw it. It probably also said the state as well. So it looks like we are not going to go green this time by either. The laps will be, or the caution will be extended by 2 laps. So this time by will be 1 lap to green, I believe.
All right, just be 30 laps to go. That's a blink of an eye here at Bristol.
Yep, that is about 10 minutes. Or less than that. Oh, is my math wrong?
Math is wrong.
Yep. Math is wrong. About 7.5. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. 4 laps a minute.
Yep.
Come on.
Some people
late.
people do things exceptionally well, and others struggle with some things. It's okay.
That is it's okay. It's all good. What I do know very well is that we are green flag racing back in Bristol, and the 9 is going down to the low line, trying to get around the 83 of David Brown as we see them battling now wheel to wheel. Now these cars have fresh tires, so the battle is on for the rest of the race. I think they should have fresh tires, I believe.
They do. Both of those came in. In fact, pretty much the top 13 all came in on that stop. Then you've got a handful of drivers: Caldwell, Wishin, Anthony, who did not. Lewis also did not. But then everybody else did. So, yep.
Yeah, I think you're going to see some of these drivers run their fastest laps of the race. Chuck Van Scoyk last time by ran his fastest lap of the race. So did Tracy Powers. Top 4 out of the 5, or top 3 out of the 4 just ran their fastest laps of the race. Leader ran a 14.286. So these laps are getting faster here at Bristol. Wyatt Gray just topped his fastest lap again, so he's sitting in P3.
Yeah, he made a big number, almost a full 10th faster than the leaders that last time by.
So the strategy here is, okay, do you run it as hard as you can?
I think you... Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, there's no time. 26 laps to go.
Yeah, for sure. You got to. I think you got to. And I was going to say, or do you try to run the low line just a little bit, save a little tire, so you have a little bit more on the back end of this stint to run that high line, because I think that high line is going to be the faster line. Now, also, you have to throw in the variable of lap down cars. Right now, we are about two-thirds of a straightaway away from seeing lap down cars at the leader. So this race could flip on its head. Within the next corner or 2.
Well, you're looking out the windshield of the leader. That's David Brown, and he's already on the bumper of the 7. Right there, Justin Lewis. He's trying to get around the 7.
Oh, he caught him at a bad time.
Yeah, had to back out. Yeah.
Yeah. Here comes the 9, right behind this 83 car. Can Mike Kelly get it done again? Oh, that was close.
There's a lot of close going on. That's the 94 that's up high as the 9 slips by. The 71 used that opportunity. He's on the bumper of the 9. As with just 20 laps to go here at Bristol as this race ticks on by.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick. 7.5 minutes is what it was at before. I know that because I did the math again just to make sure. So, yeah, we're even less than that now. So the time is ticking away from the people behind this 83, but the quicker this 83 can get around these lap down cars, the faster he can get to a win, and the further away the drivers behind him will become. So it looks like the 83 moves to the high side a little bit. He's going to get a great run off the corner. Looks like the top 4 to top 5 are all running that low line with just 17 laps to go. I'm curious who's going to be the first one to try to go to the high side and start to build that momentum, because if you start wrapping the top, it is almost like you're in a slingshot out of 2 and 4.
Our pit reporters are speaking with Justin Horton, who reports that he's finally out of the AMR Medical Center. And that race did not go the way he expected to go. Justin, as you recall, is the driver of the 18, but he reports he's okay. So
good to know, because I hate to see that for the 18. A lot of contact involving that car. Glad to see he's okay, and glad to get that report from the pits. So
83 makes it around the 66. That's John Creighton.
And you see this 9. He started to go to the high side. Now he's going to go back to the low line. But 71 and him is going to the high side, trying to pick up pace, and I think he is. I think that 71 is starting to realize, with 13 to go, I can't wait any longer. He is gaining now on the 9.
1, 2, 3, Brown, Kelly, Gray, all trying desperately to catch each other, but they've got a long line of suitors right behind them. Marcus Adams sitting in 4th, Scott Simley in 5th, Aiden Lucas in 6th, Chuck Van Scoik finds himself in 7th, Aaron Jackson up to 8th, Tracy Powers up to 9th, and Philip Vandertwick is up to 10th. I gotta.
We're 3 wide with turn 4. We might be wrecking. Oh, hold on, Rick. We were 3 wide with the leader on the bottom side with 2 lap down cars there. That allowed the 9 of Mike Kelly to rejoin the battle. The 9's going to have the low line here going into turn number 3.
Oh, he backs out of it a bit to not spin the leader.
And that has the 71 right there, Rick. That 71 has been wrapping the top now with 9 to go. I think that 71 has this figured out. Could he have saved enough tire to be able to get that run on the high side, get around the 9, and maybe get around the leader? But we have 2 minutes left of racing. See, I did the math right there. How about
that? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, on the spot too.
8 laps to go here at Bristol in the Food City 175 here with the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Just basically a handful of laps remaining. David Brown, your leader. Mike Kelly in 2nd. Wyatt Gray in 3rd.
Yeah,
David
Brown.
I do see an incident involving Jordan Weaver and Justin Lewis someplace in the back.
Interesting. But oh my gosh, we have lap cars here. This might shake up the whole field. They're 3 wide. They're wrecking in front. Hold on to it. David Brown, you've got some lap cars to fend off. If you want to win this race,
caution's out. Caution's out.
Oh man, that is not what the 83 wanted to see. I saw the 15 queue up. I think I saw, John Ledger almost.
John Ledger was involved.
Yeah, I saw John Ledger there too. The 24 of Philip Vandertwick as well, possibly.
It started back on lap 168 with Jordan Weaver and Justin Lewis. See, Justin Lewis is up in. See the 19 go by, but 7 is in, comes down into Weaver.
And I think they make contact again.
Yeah, contact again.
Seven's just skating out there. on ice, essentially, as they stop right there on the track. 55 goes through everything, minding their business. There goes the 7. What
We'll
happened
focus
with
on,
the
we're watching tonight the
19?
team with John Ledger here.
Oh, the car in front of him a little bit slow.
To the 91 of Pileshi down below. Yeah, the car in front of him is out of the throttle now. They're 3 wide.
Yep, this is not good. John gets a little tight there.
Well, the 91 came
Yeah.
up and realized he wasn't clear. Unfortunately, the 22 winds up spinning the 19 around and gets a little bit of damage here with just a handful of laps to go. Wow, our camera
That'll be
went
a
right
fun.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, and John, oh, yep, we're good. Well, that'll be a fun conversation tomorrow.
Yeah. Those guys are teammates in another league, so yeah, there you go.
I'll have to diffuse that one. Let's see what's going on there. I know it was all a racing deal at that point, but some great racing out front with the 83 and the 9, the 71 up there. And now let's talk about your top 10, though. David Brown, obviously your leader, but Mike Kelly up 15 spots in the 9 up to second. Wyatt Gray up to third, 15 spots gained in the 71. Marcus Adams, 2-time winner here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, only up 3 spots. But now he has a chance to win again, up to fourth. You have Mr. Aiden Lucas there, up 17 spots to fifth. Scott Simile up 7 spots. Tracy Powers up 14 spots to seventh. Aaron Jackson up 15 spots to eighth. Ty Bostic up 18 spots to ninth. And Philip Vanderwick up 24 positions. Rick, this race is anybody's race at this point.
Yeah.
Track position out the window. It's all about who can run these next 3 laps as hard as they can to win
and
here at
staying
Bristol.
clean.
Yep, 83, the control car. He's in the high line, gets a decent restart as the 9 and the 31 are going to be battling side by side. 2 laps to go here at Bristol. 9 taps the wall.
Marcus Adams stays clean, solidly in third, but he got a great run that last time by.
Yeah, he did. White flag in the air. 83, great run out of 1 and 2, same as the 9. I don't think anybody will catch the 83. Does the 9 have enough? No, he doesn't. David Brown's going to bring home the victory here at Bristol. Mike Kelly in second and Marcus Adams in third. Stick around because we're going to interview the top 3 drivers here just shortly.
All right, congratulations to the 83 of David Brown. We'll get the, that was a close burnout. There was a couple cars still making their way down to the start-finish line.
And by the way, the answer to the question before, how long is Bristol Motor Speedway? 0.533 miles. If you got that right, congrats. You get my words of congratulations. And that's all you get. We have no prizes here.
All right,
But
results are in.
What we do have, is the final results for tonight's Tech4Troops Cup Series race from Bristol Motor Speedway here in Tennessee. David Brown with the win, with Mike Kelly in second, Marcus Adams in third, Aiden Lucas in fourth, Wyatt Gray in fifth, Scott Simile in sixth, Tracy Powers in seventh, Ty Bostic in eighth, Aaron Jackson in ninth, and Chuck Van Scoik there sitting in 10th.
Andrew Pileshi finishes in 11th, Philip Vanderwick in 12th, Michael Anthony 13th, Walker Thomas in 14th, Alex Linney in 15th, Jordan Weaver in 16th, Garrett Johnson in 17th, 18th is Jared Wishen. John Ledger finishes in 19th, same as his car, Kyle Smalley in 20th, and Maxwell Caldwell in 21st.
In 22nd, Todd Merkel, Justin Lewis in 23rd, John Creighton in 24th, Cody Sturgill 25th, Nathan Varnell finishes in 26th, Rodney Uberpacker finishes in 27th with Christoph Hall, Nathan Harper, and Marco Berube rounding out your top 30.
All right, in 31st, Luke Bullard, Justin Horton, Troy Torgerson in 33rd, Zach Allen 34th, David Watts, William Caron in 36th, Austin Call, Brad Peters, and Greg Stone rounds out the field. And just so you get a picture of this, let me just back out of the results, and you can see the 83 has put his car up into the winner's circle here at Bristol. It's actually an elevated ramp that the car drives up, and they're able to put it in the winner's circle.
Wow, that's so cool. Love that. Love seeing that there.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and bring in Marcus Adams, who finished in third, into the broadcast booth. Marcus, congratulations on that P3 finish.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. But we somehow got it done.
We absolutely did. We were just talking at the start of the broadcast. When we did this race last year, we had 15 cautions, and it was about the same size field. But tonight, about half the amount of cautions. But darn, there was some good charging racing.
Yeah, it was when it went green, it was good, but some of those cautions I didn't really understand it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was one caution we saw where a driver had an issue with his equipment, or the way the wreck had given him a meatball, and he had to basically park it, and the caution came out. But yeah, there was definitely some challenges that a lot of drivers faced tonight for sure. But hey, congratulations, P3 ain't bad.
Yeah, I had fun for what it was, but yeah, I don't really know what to say. I didn't really expect to get an interview, but thank you all for broadcasting, everyone who supports the league, Balls Out Racing, Elite Designs, and everyone else.
You got it. All right, that's your third place finisher, Marcus Adams. With that, let's bring in Mike Kelly. We had Mike Kelly in the booth just last week. Mike was the winner of last week's, and Mike, you almost had it. You were really challenging there, and it was close.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That yellow there with 30 to go or whatever probably took my chance away to win. I think I had everybody covered. I was talking to David there and asking him if he was holding back or if he had anything, if he had anything left or not. And I don't think he did, so I don't think anybody would have caught me there if we were able, but, ifs and buts. And then I knew I was in trouble because I just felt like he was a little bit faster than I was on the get-go there from early experience. And I knew nobody'd be holding anything back. And we were setting fast lap after fast lap, and I was giving it all I had, and it was a lot of fun. We had some crazy lap traffic there through that long green flag run.
Oh man,
which was exhilarating and maddening all at once. But I think we had 4 seconds or so on the guys behind us, and they were right on our butts by the time we got through that interstate road jam. But it was a lot of fun and a lot of great racing. Not a lot of yellows, pretty impressive deal. So great race. Had a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations on your finish. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys in the broadcast booth. And as always, I like to thank the sponsors because that's what keeps this going. So the Internet Warriors League and Tech4Troops, all the sponsors, the viewers, team. We had a pretty good team run. Scotty had a good run. And a shout out to the Smoking Hot Wife and the little dog Izzy.
All right, there you have it. That's Mike Kelly here, finishing in second here at Bristol. And with that, let's bring in Mr. David Brown. Dave, congratulations on your finish, and frankly, on your burnout there on the winner circle. So.
Yeah, thanks. Alex Linney, my teammate, was yelling at me to do a burnout. So I did one. It's tight up here. Like they got invisible walls for so you can't hit the grandstand there in the pit or in the victory lane.
There you go.
Fine. So it's really tight. So.
Well, congratulations for putting the 83 in on the podium there and winning here at Bristol. We 8 cautions. I think for John and I were saying in the booth it was all good until you guys caught up to the tail end of the field, and then it was chaos.
Yeah, they were 2x2 in front, and just they couldn't quite get it sorted out there. So they had some faster cars on the inside lane, and then the cars on the outside were able to hold their momentum and keep it 2x2. So they were slow enough that you couldn't just stay behind them. So we were having to take a little bit of risky moves. I think all of us did. I know I got into the 7, and I apologize for that one. just check up on the outside lane, and so I expected to be clear there because of how little of a run the inside gets, and just got into him.
Well, congratulations on your finish. Certainly chalks up another win. Great season so far.
Yeah, it's haven't gotten the win yet until this one, so I'm happy to get that monkey off the back. Almost got it last week, but I mean, green white checkers or late race restarts, what can you do with them? But got that monkey off my back now, so looking forward to more of these.
Absolutely. That, what I meant to say, that definitely punches your ticket into the playoffs. You can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make the All-Star race weekend. I'm going to be out of town that weekend. I love North Wilkesboro, so I would have loved to have raced in that one. But yeah, we're in the chase now, so that's a plus.
There you go. So next week we wind up moving to Kansas. What's your thoughts on Kansas?
Going to be out of town for work for that one too.
Oh,
so,
no. Well,
unfortunately, going to have to miss that one too. So someone else will be in the 83, hopefully.
okay. Well, then we come back from that and we'll be at Talladega.
I got mixed feelings about Talladega there. I feel like I'm pretty decent at the super speedway stuff, but at the same time, it's such a dice roll that like you never know where you're going to get.
Fair. All right. Well, any other shout outs tonight before we let you go?
Big shout out to Robert DeJersey, who was calling out the wrecks for us at Factory Nexus.
All right, there you go. All right, so there's your winner tonight here at Bristol. David Brown takes the win and punches his ticket into the playoffs. John, any parting thoughts tonight?
Just want to say congrats to David on an awesome race, awesome win, winning from the pole. It's definitely noted, and excited that you're in the championship now. Going to battle that out, and also everyone who's watched along, make sure to subscribe as well, and you don't miss any action we have going on. Coming up on the IWM Broadcast Network, like Rick said, next week we're in Kansas. Tomorrow night we are going to be at the Bristol again for the INRS. They're going to have 250 laps here for the Food City 250 at Bristol, and then next week we have double Kansas. So make sure to tune in for those.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great night.